I've got Shimano Ultegra RD6500 short cage, or SS they call it, with a triple crank and this Shimano Sora front derailleur. I've got 30 tooth, 42 and 52 teeth chain rings. Cassette is 12 teeth to 23 teeth. I downloaded the instruction manual from Shimano for the rear derailleur. Copyright 1999. They're saying your largest sprocket can be 28 tooth and the smallest can be 11 tooth for this derailleur short cage. They say your front chainring difference between the largest and smallest chainrings can only be 14 teeth though, and I have a difference of 22 teeth, which is exactly the upper limit for the mid-cage rear derailleur, or the GS as they call it. For that mid-cage you can have an 11 tooth small sprocket and a 27 tooth as the largest sprocket. So I am definitely within that range. So it seems apparent that this bike should have a mid-cage derailleur on it, but let's keep going further. For the rear derailleurs, there's a thing called total capacity, and that's large cog minus small cog teeth count, that is, plus the large chainring tooth count minus the small chainring tooth count. And I ended up with 33. You can see the advanced mathematics at work here. Shimano says for this short cage derailleur you must have a total capacity of 29 teeth or less. But for the GS, the mid cage, you can have 37 teeth or less. I am now convinced that for optimal performance this bike should have a mid-cage rear derailleur. I have been riding it around like this. This is the equipment it came with. I bought it used, with everything except for the wheels and the cassette. I have no idea what kind of cassette the previous owner was running on this. So the question is, what happened? It looks like this bike probably should have come with an Ultegra front derailleur. It has a Sora. I'm guessing this bike was ordered with a double chain ring. They took the Ultegra double front derailleur off, put the Sora on there. I don't know what year this Sora is. I don't even know the specifications for it. It seems to be working okay, but it may not be optimal either. This Sora absolutely is a triple crank derailleur. You can tell because that inner plate it's wider from top to bottom. With a double derailleur it would be more narrow. Yeah, see, here's somebody else's bike with a double crank, and you can see what that front derailleur inner plate looks like. And it has a short cage rear derailleur. I've got an Ultegra GS on this other bike right here. I had to put a smaller cassette on it so I could use that. I'm having some issues in this low gear with the pulley actually hitting up against the cog. I think I want to put a bigger cassette on though, so I'll put this on my road bike. My traditional road bike, that is. Someone said this Kent North Point bike does not deserve a Shimano STX derailleur. And now I'm going to need it on my other road bike. So aside from the advanced theoretical determinations, what actually happens when you pair a short cage rear derailleur with a triple crank? Right now I'm in the lowest chainring and I'm in the 5th cog. And there's what the rear derailleur looks like. If I keep shifting into higher gears, things get worse and worse. This condition is called cross gearing, which you're not supposed to do anyway, but I guess they design their systems and their specifications so that if you do it, there shouldn't be a catastrophic problem. And you can see the chain is hitting against this metal piece sticking out of the cage. Now I have an even worse cross gearing situation where I'm in the highest chain ring and the lowest cog on the cassette, and you can see how badly stretched out that derailleur is. Not good for the derailleur. Even worse problems could happen depending on how you have your chain lengthened. Now if I back pedal like this, the chain actually comes right off of that chain ring. I've got the mid cage on now, and I've got the big chain ring again, and the small, or the lowest cog, the big cog, and still basically have the same problem. And I was expecting this. It's still going to pull that chain off. So I mean, that's just something you shouldn't do at all. Now I've got it in the smallest cog, and actually this chain is too short by about a link. I did actually measure it and figure that out. It is rideable, but not optimal. Now I'm back to the other cross gearing situation on the small chain ring and the small cog, and you don't see the chain hitting against the derailleur like it was with the short cage. This bike is definitely a more optimal setup now. And I've got the STX on the other road bike. What am I going to do with this Ultegra short cage? I did the calculations again, and my total capacity is 32 teeth. The chain had actually gone off into this plastic part right here. It went off that high chain ring. I think it's because of how much this crank wobbles that it got messed up. It doesn't do it all the time, but it is not a very good crank. Oh, I got it to do it again. You can see how it's kind of riding in between now the upper chain ring and the little plastic guard thing there. Because I noticed it had kind of a slipping feel to it while I was doing this. And that's the problem. There's an important sticker down here. It says, "This bicycle is not designed for off-road use or for stunting." So this may actually be a road bike after all. Perhaps it needs a dropper bar conversion.